Fala pessoal do Canaltech, tudo bem? Eu sou o Adriano.
E eu sou a Fernanda.
E nós estamos no Zendesk Showcase 2025 com dois convidados especiais, Mr. Colin e Mr. Chris. Errei o nome algumas vezes hoje. Nós iremos agora fazer uma pequena entrevista com eles para que vocês saibam mais sobre a Zendesk, sobre esse dia especial. A Fernanda preparou bastante coisa para vocês. E, Fernanda, para quem assiste somente os conteúdos aqui do canal, você está todos os dias no podcast do Canaltech, não é?
Isso mesmo, o podcast Canaltech de segunda a sexta, às 6 horas da manhã, trazendo novidades sobre inteligência artificial, novas profissões, tudo que tem de novidade por aí, você pode conferir.
Então vamos agora, terá a entrevista para vocês acontecendo com legendas, porque temos o pessoal de fora aqui hoje, então bora lá! So let's begin. Fernanda, you can begin with them.
Yeah, before we got in the market details, I would like to ask, what motivates you the most when we talk about customer experience?
Well, I'm enjoying when we get out in front of our customers and hear how they're interacting with their customers, the opportunity to help them solve problems and help them solve problems at a completely different level. Gets us all very, very motivated. Knowing that our innovation is helping to drive a different level of value for the company, helping them delight their customers at a completely different level, and really creating a different level of personalization in the market. I think for everybody at Zendesk and the work that we're doing with our customer base, it's very, very motivating.
You have solution to small and large big companies, right? So how do you do that?
So I think, Zendesk has been innovating since it went public in 2014. When you think about the first help center and some of the other capabilities that have really taken over time in this industry were created and developed and innovated at Zendesk. Today, as we move forward now and what we're talking about here at the conference, with the Resolution platform, it starts to really even the playing field, whether you're talking about an enterprise customer or you're talking about a smaller SMB type customer. And I think core to our DNA as a company and core to our DNA from an innovation standpoint has been the ability as we work with all types of customers to make sure we always keep our strengths of ease of use, ease of implementation, and quick develop. And whether you're an enterprise customer, the largest of the large, or you're a small organization that's just starting out, everybody wants to have or be in a position to be able to implement quickly and drive value from the organization. And so I think, although these companies are different in complexity, the approach that we take in many cases is the same.
Interesting. So the company will be receiving the best of the best regardless of the size.
That even though I think there are some common themes that customers expect from the software and expect from the experience, that we also need to have some expertise that's used to working with smaller organizations and then used to working with larger organizations. And that I think also applies during the sales cycle as well, right? Obviously, on the smaller side, you're talking about the product very much selling itself. Again, the use cases are generally going to be simpler. That time to value conversation is going to be very, very quick, very quick. When you have to have a sales approach for a more complex buyer, a more complex set of uses and more enterprise-like uses, you need to make sure that even though the technology is the same, that you have the right skill sets on the sales side and then also the right skill sets on the post-sale side or the customer experience side to be able to make sure that those customers understand how to proceed with using Zendesk, right? Because the platform is so powerful, you can take it in different directions, and enterprises have lots of different priorities that they're trying to juggle. You got to make sure that during that sales process and then what happens directly after the sales process, that the customer knows how best to proceed so that they can get as much value as quickly as possible. And having the right skill sets within Zendesk, I think, is really important. Some skill sets that we have are more they're more used to working with SMB type of enterprises, and then some skill sets, there are some folks that we have are more used to working with enterprises.
We have some difficulties to explain to our public what Zendesk is about. So when you have some clients that is part of the base but not already understanding all the potential, that's a great question to solve.
I think one thing I would add is I think for all of your listeners that are tuning in, the advantage that Zendesk has that we can bring back to them is that we have billions and billions of data points across many, many different industries here at Zendesk that we've collected over now the last 10, 13, 12 years of doing business in this market. And it allows us, whether you're a small customer or a large customer, to immediately walk in and understand the types of challenges that you may have. And then, of course, we've solved those things in other places and be able to really lead that customer through that journey. And I think it's helped us a lot, even in the more complex organizations where you may need some additional skill sets and services to work with those organizations. But still, we have a really good roadmap of how to approach those customers because
Yeah, and also too, Zendesk didn't. I think you're definitely calling out an interesting point. Like it's got to be difficult to be able to have a product and an offering that can work for both smaller, less complex organizations and then more enterprise organizations. But I think we have to remember too that when Zendesk first started, they weren't trying to be everything to everybody, right? And so I think over the years after. I think it's really difficult to do that if you try to do that right from the beginning. But Zendesk has been in the market now for nearly 20 years, and we built up expertise over time to where we can manage those unique expectations because we've sort of built it over time, right? Doing it all at once probably would be difficult, but doing it over 20 years, I think it points to our success in the market.
How do you make sure customers really get results from the platform after they start to use it?
I think it starts first with the product, right? We need to make sure that the product is straightforward, and there's a lot of help and there's a lot of direction within the product to help customers get started, especially in some of the most common use cases to start, the way that customers use the product. I think when you start getting into more complex use cases, that's where we need to make sure that we provide a lot of self-service resources, right? So if a customer wants to start using Guide or they want to start using more advanced portions of the platform, that there's a place where they can self-serve and find answers to those questions so that they can continue to proceed and get value. And as you get into more complex use cases, that's when the customer success organization working with the rest of the Zendesk professional services team and our partners can help customers achieve what they are looking to achieve in a 6, 12, 18-month time frame.
As Colin said, going back to our roots is always really, really important. I think if you speak to our engineering teams that are building these products, they're always thinking about those points that they may know from. Ease of use, ease of implementation, fast to borrow. And that ease of use, as Colin said, more and more of that is being built into the product. Even large customers really like that. That's less overhead for them, and so that they can get to an outcome much faster. I also think we've positioned ourselves very well where you can start small. You can put a stake in the ground, grow, show results, grow again, show results, grow again. Even to the point, as we announced today, is with our outcome-based pricing. So we've now even taken our commercial offering and aligned it to that as well. You, as a customer, pay us, right? You invest with us when we're resolving problems. And as we resolve more and more problems, there's more investment, but it aligns us incredibly well with the customer. They're getting benefit, value, and results, and makes it very easy for them to invest and very easy to grow with us over time.
I guess that many from our viewers when they see Zendesk, they tend to think about the tools and not the feedback provided from Zendesk to the operation. And that's what both you said. That's a lot coming from Zendesk to the business to create the roadmap to make this operation be stronger over time. That's great. That's not only a tool, not only agentic AI, that's also AI, not only this.
Yeah, I think you have the technology, right? But then there's a lot. I think there's a lot of change management and a lot of process change. No matter how complex you are as a business, in order to be able to
Provide not only the tool, but also the feedback.
that's feedback. I'm saying in order to be able to use some of these new tools, you do need to be okay with changing some of your processes, right? And changing is the way you operate and the way you interact with customers, right? So you need to make sure that the tool, our platform, it's not a tool, but our platform helps enable customers do that. But I think part of our job is to educate customers on how best to make those changes, right? From a process standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's a two-way street, which is really exciting for our customers, because 60+% of the functionality and capabilities are recommendations that are coming from our customers. So as we're engaging them, especially on our new innovation around agentic AI, and we get that feedback, we adjust. And it continues to make it easier for our customers to adopt, Rich, as they all. And then the second thing is, very quickly we recognize that we need to, as part of our selling process and engaging customers, we need to include services. So we have specific package services that Colin's organization manages, where we are incorporating that with every engager. So it gives our customers that support, gives them that umbrella of support, that overall, to make sure that they are adopting in the right manner, they're driving best practices, and they're looking for the opportunity for the next set of use cases to get that value back. And that's been very, very successful for us.
Excellent.
And looking to the future, what global trends you believe will open more opportunities for Zendesk to grow?
That's a big one.
Big question, by the way. So we very much believe that, this agentic AI, this is the biggest paradigm shift. I've been through a number of them, and we all have, and this is the biggest paradigm shift in technology. And it's only going to continue to accelerate. So we see the opportunity to incorporate agentic AI into more and more of the capabilities, not only handling level 1 and 2, but then continuing to move up with some of the challenges our customers have, and make sure that we do that across all the channels, whether it be the digital channels, the email channels, the voice channels. We just made a big acquisition for voice. And so that our customers have this seamless approach, same platform, same AI capabilities running across all of those channels to provide them the best path to solve problems and manage and serve their customers. And so we will continue to invest in that manner. And I think what you'll see is us continue to leverage data more and more that we get back to improve and really zero in on the best way to drive outcomes for our customers, and do that very much from an industry orientation. Continue to verticalize within not only our go-to-market organization, but also our developer organization. So you have retail solutions, you have high-tech solutions, manufacturing solutions. Really zero in on the challenges that our customers may have in those industries.
As I said, more than ever, Zendesk that says, hey, company, here's my feedback about you.
And I'd say two things to add to Chris. The first thing is, over the last 3 years, we've been hearing about generative AI, right? And the ChatGPT and OpenAI and how is this going to disrupt business? And then it moved into how are businesses monetizing AI? And then it moved into what parts of life is AI going to impact first or going to disrupt first? Well, when you look at Zendesk, and you look at market opportunity, super exciting, because customer service and customer experience and employee experience is ground zero for AI, right? And because of the way that because of that opportunity, because of the space that Zendesk has been in now for almost 20 years, plus the fact we've been making some pretty interesting, we've been investing a lot from an innovation standpoint, being very, very aggressive from a acquisition standpoint. We have the technology where we are monetizing AI and very much doing it in the ways that Chris is saying is too, aligning it to our customers. So like this is, when you think of like the future is now, but I would say that like the growth opportunity is huge and we are very, very well positioned as a company. The second thing is the thing that we haven't talked about today is Zendesk, the platform is used to solve a number of different challenges for our customers. It can be used to solve our end customers' problems and to resolve our customers' end customers' problems. But more and more, it can be used to solve our customers' employees' problems. And that is a huge opportunity as well for Zendesk. And again, we're AI, and you think of AI and you think of solving, basically taking the experience that a consumer expects, which we've been hearing about for a long time, and taking that expectation and then applying that technology to making employees' lives better so that they could be more efficient and they could be more effective and they can be more successful at work, right? And so like that is a huge opportunity for Zendesk as well. And I think AI is going to play a big part of it.
And we're taking
About people, right?
Yeah, people, exactly. It's about people.
great, as I said on stage, great service starts with great people. And you believe the agentic AI approach that we're taking is a really fresh look of how to manage your employee service. And we're very excited about that. And when you combine the outcome-based pricing approach, which we also believe is a big differentiator in the market.
So if it's before the hat, right?
It aligns us really, really well to what our customers need and what they want.
And on top of this, in my opinion, Zendesk is about seeing every data all the time in one place. And AI is about processing this data in one place at once. So for me, that's the perfect example. And for all of this, Chris and Colin, thank you so much for all this interview and all these visions, because AI is not only the future, but is now being for everyone something that we need to cope about or work with. So it's the time to see all these updates. Nice one of the agents and everything. I really like this kind of implementation of AI. And I'll be seeing all the news that will be launched today. No spoilers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're very excited about our future, and it's been an exciting conference. So this is great. Thank you.
Vocês podem ver mais coisas no Canaltech e também aqui no nosso canal do YouTube, porque tem muita coisa saindo do Zendesk Showcase para vocês. Então, bora! Continuando então aqui no Zendesk Showcase, a parte que vocês viram agora foi muito mais sobre o serviço, sobre como a IA consegue alterar tudo isso. E agora tem a parte 2, que tem muito a ver com o pessoal que trabalha na empresa mesmo e tem muita coisa de RH. E com quem nós estamos aqui, especialmente neste momento?
Anne-Marie!
Hello.
Welcome, Anne-Marie.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
So we have some questions about AGR, right? And
Yeah, you have more than 20 years of experience. Yeah.
no, experience is great.
Okay, a lot of years leading transformation in global companies. Looking back, what are the biggest changes you have seen in the world of work, and how did that journey bring you here to Zendesk?
Oh, wow. What a great question. Okay. What have I seen? I think each technology disruptive transformation creates an entirely new way we work in so many ways, and yet some things super similar. So super similar, people are people, they want to come to work, they want to have meaning in their work, they want to have great colleagues, they want to work in an environment where they're loved and nurtured and cuddled by their teams, always the same. But what's super different is the pace of change, the way technology is used to facilitate change, to automate, to accelerate, to disrupt. What's different is that different skills are needed at different times in technology evolution. So years ago, it was much more about speed of change. Now it's about, really disruptive change, especially with AI. Yeah, especially. And then I would say net, people's comfort with being uncomfortable, changing, right? So years ago, super uncomfortable changing. We've changed so much now. After the pandemic, everybody's changing all the time. So now I think people are more comfortable changing because change is a constant.
Yeah.
What's more uncomfortable now is about the pace, not the change.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think the pace is crazy right now. With AI, it's just exponential, right? What was years to change, then it becomes, a few years to change, then it's months to change, days to change. Now it's literally minutes to see change. Yeah.
Yeah, and for your perspective, what's the biggest changes AI already brought to the workplace?
I think productivity, change in productivity. I was getting prepared to do a presentation back in the US. I normally would spend a weekend thinking, researching, pulling my thoughts together, doing some organization, and I was able to do it in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, I know how is it.
It gave me the ability to put it together, go away, think about it, come back, make it my words, because I do feel like sometimes AI puts words in your mouth. Like that,
Yes.
my words. And then off I went, and I was able to go on and do something else that I had on my list of things to do. So I think it's really productivity.
And Zendesk is not just about customer solution. It's also about people. How do you make sure the employee experience connected to the customer experience?
Well, look, we are all about our customers at Zendesk. We're super passionate about making sure our customers can deliver the kind of experiences they want for their customers. We would not do that well if our employees didn't feel very passionate and engaged. Our CEO, Tom, likes to say customer obsessed. So we bring customer focus into everything we do. Our leadership competency framework has an anchor on champion for our customers. Our employees are trained on customer and customer experience capabilities and tools. We talk about it in all of our company meetings and in our company, what we call accelerator programs. And so it's front and center for us all the time. We always want customer service to be, front and center for our employees. Now, employee experience, that's where you want to go with this. We have an entire team in our people team that wakes up every single day thinking about our employees and their experience being with Zendesk. Our employees have a choice of where they bring their career. And I want them to feel every day that their choice was a good one. And so Zendesk brings good benefits, good working conditions, fun environment, great work that people, can be proud of. And what I love to say, career-defining experiences. That when you come to Zendesk, you can define a career that's meaningful you. You can put it on your LinkedIn and be super excited that you did something meaningful while you're here with us at this point in your life.
If you could give you one message to professionals afraid of AI, what would it be? Because a lot of people are afraid of the future.
Look, way back, we were afraid of the iPhone, and then we were afraid of, cloud-based whatever, and then we were afraid of, GPS in our cars, and like we
Yeah.
bought
Uber, to take your
everybody,
Uber.
right? I mean, now you're in San Francisco and you're driving in a car with no driver. So technology is always a little bit scary. It should. I mean, that's a good feeling. It should be scary because it's different. What I would say with AI is. You just have to try it and play with it and experiment with it and add it a little bit here, a little bit there into the way you're working, and so that it feels a little bit more natural. Younger people are, I think, much more adaptive to new technologies.
Yeah, they are
and
born using
so get a
cell phone.
mentee who's really good at it and
So
can
you need
show
to
you.
try.
You need to try
You need
it.
to try it.
You need to try it. I think of try it where it's safe. Try it where it's safe. So try it finding recipes if you love to cook, right? So that you're or planning a
Put your
vacation,
data and your
Right, yeah.
personal information
all of
there.
that sort of. Yeah, I think just try it and see how it works. And I think once you're trying it and you have little moments of success, it'll integrate into other ways in which you're working. Yeah.
Então, basicamente, a questão é tentar, né? Não é sobre ter medo das mudanças, porque elas acontecem num ritmo alucinante.
Ela vai acontecer de
Vai,
qualquer jeito.
Anna Marie, many thanks for
Thank
the
you.
interview.
It was a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.
E você pode acompanhar no canaltech.com.br e também no nosso YouTube um monte de coisa aqui sobre o Showcase Zendesk. Então fique ligado, clique nos links aqui embaixo, que tem muita coisa acontecendo, sendo anunciada aqui, que a gente não pode dar spoiler, mas vocês podem conferir, tanto no site quanto aqui no YouTube.
É isso mesmo. Tchau.